money. That's the situation.
When you talk of lack of funds, what exactly is the cost of the East-West Road?
At present, it sounds a bit difficult to tell you how much. There are ancillary costs associated with that. So to mention a specific sum may run short of the figure as the days go by, because there are other claims according to the contracts which set in on daily basis. But I had given you an idea that initial design, about 560 billion or more, and about 280 billion had been paid. And then with some other additions to that, variations and all that, before we resumed office, the cost tending towards 600 billion. And in this, what has been paid out is in the region of 280 billion.
Does that suggest you're running a project without a clear future?
We have a very clear future. It is the elements that determine that future that are also clear but variant because of the prevailing conditions specified in the contracts that we are executing.
You also pointed out the foreign exchange factor, which is very important here. Contractors complaining that the contracts were awarded in Naira, and now the foreign exchange pressure is having a toll on the Naira. What options are you considering?
Yeah, what I really said was that that particular last section of the road was negotiated in Naira, but contract signed in US dollars, which makes it more complex for us given the exchange regime that we are currently experiencing. So ultimately, we are left with the options of sourcing money by any means to do these jobs. And one of the ways that we secured is to come under the China Africa Infrastructure Fund, Credit Fund, which has this project as one of the preferred ones in Nigeria, for which the government is providing a counterpart fund already to provide in the 2017 budget. So once they are ready to release the money, our counterpart fund will be available. Nonetheless, we have forwarded our documentations that are required for examination by them to know that we are on course in desire to execute the project accordingly.
So tell us the terms of reference of this, the China Bank credits partnership now. Are they going to operate a toll arrangement? What should Nigerians really expect?
Well, being a credit facility, we have no conditions as to how we run it relative to what they will want. The only terms will be on how we repay back. And that, of course, is under working by the technical departments that are necessary to make suggestions by way of recovering the money to pay back.
Just of recent, the Niger Delta elders raised a 16-point demand for the restoration of peace in the Niger Delta region. And they said that 3 of these key points are relocation of the administrative headquarters, the administrative and operational headquarters of the IOCs to the Niger Delta region, and also the cleanup of affected community in the Niger Delta region, and also a review of the Amnesty program to create a robust exit plan for the ex-militants. Is this the right way to go?
Well, each of them has its own peculiar attraction in terms of response. First, to suggest that the ministry moves its headquarters to the region is obviously out of order. The reason is because every federal ministry has representation in the Federal Executive Council.
No, the relocation of the IOCs.
Or IOCs.
Yes.
Well, there are certain implications to that. I would naturally wish that the IOCs should move to where they do business. In so doing, in order to sustain the business, you should also be sure that you secure the operational machinery of each IOC, which means security becomes a paramount issue. Nobody wants to do business where he feels insecure. So while that is a viable demand, it's important for us also to be sure that we can guarantee the safety of lives and property in the region, which for now is seriously threatened. And this in itself is a negation of our demand for development in the region.
That brings us to the report that you appointed an impostor to coordinate security in the Niger Delta region. Could you put things in the proper perspective?
That is not true. The issue of security has to do with operational arms of security management in the country, wherein the military and paramilitary establishments are involved. I appointed somebody for arms recovery program, not security whatsoever in the region or the pipeline as it is said. The task we gave him was for us to recover arms from the militants, not the willing facade of coming to bring the Lugard guns to the playground and say you are seeking amnesty. No. We ran a program. We are running a program to recover arms. Purely that. So our program is different from running the security maintenance in the region. It should be understood. And when we call it a program, we have the full import of what it means. A program can start by 1 o'clock and end by 2 p.m. So it is by no means a statutory, institutionalized exercise that has terms of limitless operation or that will enable anyone as such to delve into the functional state duties of security agencies.
You may also join in this conversation by sending us your comment on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. Coming up on Question Time, setting the record straight on the Niger Delta cleanup plan. Find out from Nigeria's Minister of Niger Delta Affairs. Join us again.